Question number 13.14. Please refer to the chapter Valuation of Business and Mergers and Acquisitions of the textbook. There are several parts of the question. We come to question 13.14a. We are given the total earnings of A Limited rupees 10 lakh. Number of equity shares 2 lakh. Price earning ratio 5. We have to find EPS and market price per share. What is EPS? Earning per share. It is EAT for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shareholders. EAT for equity shareholders in this question is 10 lakh. Number of equity shares is 2 lakh. So EPS is rupees 5, that is 10 lakh upon 2 lakh, EPS is rupees 5. Price earning ratio is also 5. What is price earning ratio? Market price upon EPS. So market price upon EPS is 5, EPS is also 5, so market price is 25. EPS rupees 5 per share. It is 10 lakh divided by 2 lakh. Market price is equal to EPS into price earning ratio, that is 5 into this 5, so market price per equity share rupees 25. Question number 13.14b. EPS rupees 10. Market price rupees 80. We have to find price earning ratio. What is price earning ratio? Market price per share upon earning per share. Market price per share upon earning per share, so price earning ratio is 8. Question number 13.14c. EPS rupees 10. Price earning ratio 5. Market price will be the product of the two. Market price is equal to EPS into price earning ratio. So market price is equal to rupees 50. Question number 13.14d. A Limited acquires B Limited. Using the data given below, find EPS of combined business. Exchange ratio 1.1. Earning of A, earning of B. So friends, what shall be the combined earning of both? 15 lakh. Combined earning of both will be rupees 15 lakh. And what shall be the number of shares? Shareholders of A Limited will continue to hold 2 lakh shares. Existing shareholders of A Limited will continue to hold 2 lakh equity shares. Existing equity shareholders of A Limited will continue to hold 2 lakh shares. Shareholders of B Limited will be allotted equity shares of A Limited. Exchange ratio is 1.10. Exchange ratio means number of shares of acquirer to be issued for 1 share of acquired. It means for 1 share of B, the existing equity shareholder of B will get 1.1 share. So for 80,000 shares, they will get 88,000 shares. So total combined earning 15 lakh, total number of shares 2 lakh plus 88,000. So friends, it is total earning, it is total number of equity shares. Your new EPS of the new business, combined business, is 5.21. Question number 13.14e. Find EPS of question 13.14d if there is synergy gain of 5%. Without synergy gain, EPS is 5.21. With synergy gain, EPS will increase by 5%. So, in the new scenario, when there is synergy gain of 5%, this will be the earning of both the companies. Earlier, both the companies were earning 15 lakh, 10 lakh and 5 lakh. Now, the earnings will go up by 5%. So, this is the new earning. This is the new number of shares. So, EPS will increase to 5.47 in case there is synergy gain of 5%. By synergy gain, we mean increase in profit on account of savings on account of merger. When merger is there, some savings are there. For example, earlier there were two companies. They were having two managing directors. Now they will have only one managing director. There were two head offices. Now there will be only one head office. They were doing publicity separately. Now perhaps one publicity will serve the purpose of both. They were purchasing separately. Now if they will purchase more as one entity, perhaps they may get some discount. So what I want to say, synergy gain is increase in profit on account of savings on account of merger. When merger is there, certain savings are there. Synergy gain indicates increase in profit on account of these savings. So synergy gain is 5%. It means our profit will increase by 5%. And if profit will increase by 5%, EPS will increase by 5%. Earlier it was 5.21. Without synergy gain, it was 5.21. Now it will be 5% more. So it is 5.21 plus 5% of that. Question number 13.14f. Assuming price earning ratio of combined business to be 10, find market price per share of the combined business in question 13.14d. In this question, our EPS was 5.21. Price earning ratio 10. So market price will be this into 10, that is 52.10. Question number 13.14g. We have to find market price per share. We have to find market price per share in this question if price earning ratio of the combined business is 9. Friends, in this question, what was our EPS? EPS was 5.47. Now, P ratio is 9. So, market price will be 5.47 into 9, that is rupees 49.23. Maximum exchange ratio. Friends, maximum exchange ratio is calculated from the point of view of shareholders of acquirer company. Maximum price is determined by purchaser. So, maximum exchange ratio is calculated with reference to shareholders of purchasing company. Shareholders of purchasing company won't pay They won't agree for a purchase concession which is more than this. This ratio refers to maximum number of shares of purchasing company that can be issued to a shareholder holding one share of acquired company. Suppose I am holding one share of the acquired company. Then maximum exchange ratio refers to maximum number of shares of acquirer company that can be issued to me. The concept relates to the acquirer company. This concept relates to the acquirer company. The term maximum exchange ratio refers to maximum number of shares of the acquirer company will issue to each share of acquired company. The concept relates to the acquirer company. The term maximum exchange ratio refers to maximum number of shares the acquirer company will issue for each share of acquired company. Question number 13.15a. Please refer to the chapter Valuation of the Business and Merger and Acquisition of the textbook. Please go through the question thoroughly. We have to find maximum exchange ratio in this question. Suppose I am holding one share of A. Before merger, I am holding one share of A. After merger, I will continue to hold one share of A. Number of shares held by shareholders of acquirer company do not change. At present, I am holding one share of A. After merger, I will hold one share of A. At present, I am holding one share of A. After merger, I will hold one share of A. What I want is that after merger, the value of my share should not go below rupees 40. At present, I am holding one share of A. My wealth is rupees 40. After merger, I will continue to hold one share of A. My wealth should be at least 40. My wealth should not be less than 40. This is what is the aim of maximum exchange ratio. To preserve their wealth, the shareholders of A Limited would like minimum price per share after acquisition should be rupees 40. If I am holding one share before merger, I shall continue to hold one share after merger. At present, my wealth is rupees 40. So, after merger, the exchange ratio should be fixed in such a way that after merger, minimum price per share is rupees 40. Price earning ratio would be 10. Price earning ratio would be 10. Clearly given in the first line of the question. Price earning ratio would be 10. So, minimum EPS should be 4. Earning of combined business will be rupees 15 lakh. For EPS to be 4, the number of equity shares should be 3,75,000. So, A Limited should issue 1,75,000 shares. Price earning ratio would be 10. It is clearly given in the first sentence of the question. So, the minimum EPS should be 4. because only then the price can be 40. I want that minimum price after merger should be 40. You should fix maximum exchange ratio in such a way that minimum price after merger should be 40. For that, price earning ratio would be 10, clearly given in the question. So minimum EPS should be 4. Only then the price will be 40. Earning of the combined business will be rupees 15 lakh. For this, for EPS to be rupees 4, the number of equity shares should be 3,75,000. A Limited is issued capital 2 lakh. So A Limited may issue 1,75,000 equity shares to those shareholders of B who are holding 80,000 shares. So friends, your maximum exchange ratio is 2.1875. A Limited should issue 2.1875 shares for each share of B. This is the maximum exchange ratio. Let P1 is equal to market price per share of the acquirer. Before acquisition. Let P1 is equal to market price per share of the acquirer before acquisition. Let E1 is equal to earning for equity shareholder of acquirer before acquisition. Let E2 is equal to earning for equity shareholders of acquired before acquisition. Let E12 is equal to EPS of the combined business, ER exchange ratio, number of shares of acquirer to be issued for one share of acquired, N1 number of equity shares of the acquirer before acquisition, N2 number of the shares of the acquired. To find the maximum exchange ratio, we solve the following equation for ER. Friends, this is the market price per share of the acquired company before acquisition. In this question, market price per share of the acquired company before acquisition is P1. We want that it should be maintained. The exchange ratio should be such that this does not go down. Suppose I am holding one share of A. Suppose before acquisition I am holding one share of A. Even after acquisition I will continue to hold one share of A. At present my wealth is rupees 40. I want that even after merger my wealth should be 40. So this is P1. It is before acquisition. It should be after acquisition. After acquisition also the market price of share of A should continue to be at least 40. So P1 is equal to, this is earning of both the companies, earning of A, earning of B, earning of both after acquisition. This is number of share of first company, this is number of share of second company, but multiplied with ER, it will give us number of share of new company that we will issue. So this gives us EPS of the combined business. This gives us EPS of the combined business multiplied by price earning ratio of the combined business will give us market price per share of the combined business. Answer to question number 13.15a. At present, price per share is rupees 40. At present, price per share is rupees 40. This is the earning of both the companies. This is the number of shareholders of both the companies. Number of shares of both the companies after merger. This is the price earning ratio given in the question. This should be equal to 40 rupees. Solving the equation, we get that exchange ratio is equal to 2.1875. So, maximum number of equity shares that can be issued for one share of B is equal to 2.1875. Question number 13.15b. Please refer to the chapter Valuation of Business and Merger and Acquisitions of the textbook. We do the question number 13.15a, assuming synergy gain of 5%. To find maximum exchange ratio, we solve the following equation for ER. P1 is equal to E1 plus E2 into 1 plus synergy gain rate divided by N1, N2 exchange ratio into price earning ratio. At present, our market price is 40. After that, this will be the total earning of the two companies including synergy gain. This will be the number of shares in the two company. So, this will be the EPS of the combined business multiplied by price earning ratio given in the question 10. It should be equal to 40. Solving the equation, we get that exchange ratio is equal to 2.42187. That is, we can issue maximum number of shares for one share of B is 2.421875. Minimum exchange ratio is calculated with reference to shareholders of acquired company. Shareholders of acquired company also would like that their wealth should not be reduced below the present level. In this question, suppose I am holding one share of B. At present, my wealth is rupees 50. I would like that exchange ratio should be such that even after acquisition, my wealth should be at least 50. Let P2 is equal to market price per share of the acquired. Market price per share of the acquired in our example is rupees 50. So, P2 is equal to 50. It is market price per share of the acquired before acquisition. E1 is equal to earnings for acquirer before acquisition. E2 is equal to earnings of the acquired before acquisition. E12 is equal to earning per share of the combined business. Exchange ratio ER is equal to exchange ratio, that is number of shares of acquirer to be issued for one share of acquired. N1 number of equity shares of acquirer before acquisition. N2 number of shares of the acquired. To find minimum exchange ratio, we solve the following equation for ER. P2, this is the value per share of the acquired before acquisition. Suppose I am holding one share of acquired before acquisition. This is my wealth. I want that my wealth should be maintained. So, this is the price per share of the acquired before acquisition. I want my wealth to be maintained. So, it should be equal to, this is the earning of the new entity. This is the number of share of the new entity. This is the EPS of new entity. This is the EPS of new entity. This is the EPS after merger. Multiplied by price earning ratio. This is market price per share after merger. This is market price per share after merger. But it is not necessary that for one share I am issued only one share. For one share I may be issued more than one share, less than one share. So I will multiply this with the exchange ratio. This will give me my wealth after merger. This is my wealth before merger. This is my wealth after merger. Suppose I am holding one share of acquired. At present my wealth is this. After merger I will get the share of acquirer. I will get the share of new entity. This is the market price per share of the new entity. I will get so many shares. So this will be my wealth after merger. This is my wealth before merger. Solving the equation for ER, we will get our minimum exchange ratio.